Heather. I am in Victoria, British Columbia for a few weeks, visiting my parents, hanging out with some friends, doing some work. Today I'm going to be cycle commuting into downtown, and I thought I'd take you with me. I had a very popular video about cycle commuting a while back. I wasn't expecting it to be so popular, but everybody's been asking me for a follow-up. And unfortunately I haven't been cycling very much because I broke my wrist, but I'm back at it this week in Victoria. So I'm just having breakfast, and I'm gonna make lunch to take with me while I'm eating breakfast. I've also started my day with a little cup of raspberry chia kombucha. And then I've got my breakfast bowl. I put it in a really tiny bowl, unfortunately. It was either tiny or huge. And I went for tiny, and I might have a second bowl. Anyway, in this bowl I've got some granola that my mom made, which is really tasty. I've got a recipe for homemade granola if you want to try it yourself. I'll link to a video if you want to try that. I've also got some puffed quinoa and some Manitoba Harvest hemp hearts. The fun thing about being in Victoria is I have access to all the fun, healthy, vegan kind of stuff, so that's exciting. So I've got my little breakfast bowl. I'm gonna put some blueberries on top and some almond milk, and even more exciting than breakfast and chia kombucha combined is the last 3 figs that I have from a friend of mine. These are fresh off the tree. They're so big, so soft, and so delicious. I love coming to Victoria in August because it's fig time and I get to enjoy that. So for lunch, I'm gonna try to fit as much as I can into this container. I've pulled some things out of the fridge: cucumber, avocado, tempeh, chickpeas, spinach. I might have to add some other things, but that'll get me started. So, big handful of spinach. Spinach is great for packed lunches because it doesn't wilt like lettuce does, or if it does wilt, it's okay because it's spinach. I'm gonna chop up some cucumber. Ooh, the end is dry. I'm gonna have to cut off part of the end of this. Okay, tempeh, I'm just gonna cube part of it. This is a local tempeh from Green Cuisine. So good. Okay, lots of tempeh, so I don't need too many chickpeas, but my mom cooked these in her Instant Pot and it seemed like fun to put some in here. Also, you know, when you're having a salad as a meal, you have to throw in as much as you can to make it filling, particularly when you're taking it for your day. So I'm gonna put this an avocado in here. Okay, this is a very green and beige salad. I think I need something red in here, so I'm gonna grab a tomato. All right, that's looking pretty good, and like a meal-size salad. So I'm just gonna add some dressing. My mom had this in the fridge, Okanagan Original Vinaigrette. It seems to have sunflower oil, lemon juice, tamari, raspberries, white vinegar, nutritional yeast, garlic, sea salt, and herbs. So that sounds pretty lovely. Now I have salad dressing on my breakfast spoon. So that plus my spork. I think I'm gonna take an apple, and I had this left over I bought these snacks for my flight. They're actually made in Canada. Chocolate chip crispy square. It's a crispy rice bar that has vegetables in it, which I think is kind of interesting. So I'll just put that in a bag to make sure this doesn't leak, and off I go. straight through town, whereas my normal cycle commute is not many other cyclists around. I'll show you that another time. But for now, I'm heading in to work, and I'll see you for lunch. Bye, bike. So I'm just gonna stop and have lunch here in the Spring Ridge Commons. It's between one job and another job. This is not my bike. This is a bike I'm borrowing while I'm here. I don't think I would be able to ride on it for too long because it's quite slow. Spring Ridge Commons is a pretty cool little place. It's a garden for the community, but it's not your typical community garden. As you might see, there are no plots that people make their own thing. It is actually just maintained by community volunteers, and then anybody can come in here and enjoy it and pick whatever fruit is in season. And these berries, I don't remember what they're called, but I do know that they are edible and that not many people pick them because they're not as popular as things like figs. Oh, look, there's a sign that says exactly what it is. July to September. Anyway, got a nice little spot in the shade here. Gonna enjoy my lunch. Oh, that was super satisfying, but I'm already late, so heading off to meet my friend and get some more figs. The sky is super misty because we're getting smoke blown up from the forest fires in California. Now, I've been sitting in air conditioning all day, so I'm wearing pants. And these are my, check out my high-tech pant leg so that it doesn't hit the chain. Heading home, I got some more figs and some cute little orange tomatoes that look and smell super tasty. Going home, we get to take the super duper special double lane bike path. We've even got our own stoplights. Check that out. All right, I'm home. I had a shower because I was a little sweaty from cycling. It's difficult for me because it's been so hot. And now I'm in a more moderate climate, so I get chilly when I'm standing still or when I'm inside in air conditioning. But then when I'm outside, and particularly when I'm cycling, I do get warm. So it's kind of a weird in-between for me at the moment. But anyway, home. I didn't film it, but well, my friend and I had a little tea break midway through our work. So we had some tea and a little bit of dark chocolate with ginger in it. It was lovely. So I'm not starving. And I also had a couple figs. I got my supply replenished. So I'm not gonna make dinner quite yet, but what I'm thinking is a tortilla pizza with some of my fresh tomatoes. I've got some mushrooms in the fridge, maybe a little tempeh. There's some vegan pesto in the fridge as well. So that sounds like the makings of a pretty good dinner, but I'm gonna just chill out, maybe have another fig and a little bit of coconut water and just chill out for a bit, do some work on my website and start dinner a little bit later. Normally you can see mountains out that way, but today we just have a hazy, smoky, non-horizon. So hopefully visibility is all right for that float plane. It's funny, I never hear in myself what it is that I say that makes me sound Canadian, that tips people off right away. But as soon as I come home and I'm surrounded by other Canadians, I probably sound more Canadian now than I ever do, and I feel it. It's like, I feel like home just because of the way people speak. Some of it is much more exaggerated, like there were some cyclists yelling to a friend in his car, and they were like, "Hey bud, where you going tonight?" And that, you know, you can totally hear. But even more subtle, I don't know what it is, but I can tell that I sound more Canadian than usual. Dinner time. We're gonna take one of these tortillas. We're gonna make a tortilla pizza today. I'm gonna top it with some sunflower basil pesto, which is pre-made, but it sounds lovely. Very simple ingredients, just sunflower seeds, basil, sunflower oil, and I assume some salt. Spread that around. That looks so good. Topping wise, I'm gonna do some red pepper. I'll slice up my mushrooms first, and I'm gonna do them as thinly as possible because I don't wanna have to cook this for too long because the tortilla will get crispy. Tip to help your mushrooms cook faster when you're pizza-ifying them is to sprinkle them with a little bit of salt and then mix it around with your mushrooms so that they have just a little bit of salt on the surface, which helps them soften and bake faster. The thin slice also helps that. All right, spread my pile of mushrooms onto my pizza. I'm also gonna do some tempeh because why not? Welcome to my 2 weeks of tempeh binge. Also, just gonna spread these out. This is already seasoned and already cooked from Green Cuisine, my go-to tempeh people in Victoria. But if you need to, just slice your tempeh thin and season it with some red pepper, because it's pretty and it's tasty. And I'm singing because I'm getting hungry. Also sprinkled everywhere. And my beautiful fresh orange tomatoes, which are so good. I'm tempted to just sprinkle them on raw after this bakes. I'll cut up 2 of them and then I'm gonna eat 2 while it's baking. How's that for a compromise? Okay, so that's ready to go. I've put it on a baking dish that fits in a toaster oven, so it's fast. While that's baking, I'm gonna make my salad for lunch tomorrow so that I don't have to rush around in the morning like I did today. And I'm pretty much gonna make the same thing as I did today because it was freaking delicious. I am gonna add some leftover corn on the cob from the other night that I didn't have time to cut off this morning. So I'm just gonna cut it off, put it in. Yeah. Yumness. I cannot wait to dive into that tomorrow. Got some tempeh, got some hemp seeds on the top there. Oh, beauty, eh? All right, pizza is done. A little crispy. I was not keeping track because I was getting excited about my salad, but this looks awesome. This was about 13 minutes on convection at 350 in the toaster oven. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my cycle commuting day in Victoria. I'm gonna go enjoy my pizza and we'll talk soon. Bye guys. Yum.